Shalom, family. It's good to see you here. We got a lot to talk about when it comes down to that tornado that hit Pfizer. Oh man, this thing is far worse than you can even imagine, you know. And we know they are the biggest producer of the vaccine. And they're saying that this is going to take toll on not only that, but all sorts of medication. And the US was already going through a medication shortage. Well, this situation is going to make it worse. And they are admitting that. So, man, hold on because it's going to be a bumpy ride ahead. When a medical giant like Pfizer can be taken out by a tornado, that is really significant. This facility is one of the biggest they had. So, yeah, it took a direct hit from a tornado that formed in North Carolina on Wednesday, and they're bracing for the worst when it comes down to the medication shortage in America because of this. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Welcome to everybody. Shalom to you if you're just getting in. Shalom. I'm going to show you just a few of the pictures that have come out. This was from an aerial shot. I just want to make sure everybody can see the screen. If you can see the screen, please give me a 1. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay. So this is an aerial shot of the building after it was hit by a tornado. And they said it happened so fast. This building housed all kinds of medicine. And we know things don't happen. I don't believe in a coincidence. I believe these things happen. And if the Most High don't want these meds here, then they're not going to be here. They're not. So America's going to have to scramble around for alternatives now because of this. Right. Let me just screen. And there's another one I want to show you. Yeah, look at that. And you can see the cars down there, but a lot of damage to this Pfizer facility. I mean, this place is never going to be the same. Something like this, it would take them years to get this thing back up and running if they ever can, you know? So, of course, they're going to have to use an alternative facility to house all of their medicines that are now probably more than likely destroyed up in this building. Mm-mm-mm. So, y'all, let's get into it. So, a tornado damages the Pfizer plant in North Carolina will likely lead to long term shortages of medicine. They already know, can see the writing on the wall when it comes down to this thing. An important Pfizer pharmaceutical plant in North Carolina was severely damaged on Wednesday after a powerful tornado ripped through the area, threatening production lines that normally provide huge amounts of medicines to U.S. hospitals. While torrential rains flooded parts of Kentucky and communities to the south, all the way down to Florida, enduring scorching heat because it's hot as hell in Florida right now and reaching record temperatures. Mm-mm-mm. So, Pfizer confirmed a large manufacturing complex was damaged by a twister that touched down shortly after midday near Rocky Mount, but said in an email that it had no reports of serious injuries. And, despite everything, I sure hope people did not get hurt. So they're saying there were no serious injuries. A later company statement said all employees were safely evacuated and accounted for. So that's good. I wonder how many of our brothers and sisters work at that facility. I'm sure they had a lot of people, especially if they had a production line. Parts of the roof were ripped open at the Pfizer plant in Rocky Mount, which is a complex composed of several massive buildings. The plant stores large quantities of medicines that were tossed out and about. Wow. This is according to Nash County Sheriff Keith Stone. They reported that they got reports of 50,000 pallets of medicines that were thrown from the facility and damaged through the rain and wind, Stone said. Mm-mm-mm. The plant produces anesthesia and other medicines, and they produce that Japsine, y'all. And nearly 25% of all sterile injectable medicines used at U.S. hospitals, Pfizer said on its website. Aaron Fox, a senior pharmacy director, the University of Utah Health, said the damage will lead to long-term shortages while Pfizer works either to move production to other sites or rebuild. Y'all, all of the production was done out of these buildings. All of their, can you just picture that in your head? A twister took a direct hit on this facility, and this facility produces all of the meds for Pfizer. I mean, that just blows the mind. You can't rebuild something like this right away. It would take years. And even setting up a production line in another location, that's going to take a while. You can't do that in a snap. You got to have, those are special machineries that do certain things, and you got to have the machine operators and setting up a facility like that. That's going to take time. And not only did it destroy this facility, it destroyed a bunch of houses out there in North Carolina, too. So we are assessing the situation to determine the impact on production. Our thoughts are with our colleagues, our patients, and the community as we rebuild from this weather incident. I tell you what, you can't threaten the weather. You can't threaten to put it in jail. You can't mass incarcerate this weather. All the stuff that you like to do, you can't do to this weather. You can't do none of it. All right. So the National Weather Service said in a tweet that the damage in North Carolina consisted with an EF3 tornado with wind speeds up to 150 miles per hour. Yeah, well, I tell you what, a speed like that, it won't be too many things left standing. The Edgecombe County Sheriff's Office where part of Mount Rocky Mount is located, said on Facebook that they had reports of three people injured in the tornado, and two of them had life-threatening injuries. A preliminary report from neighboring Nash County said 13 people were injured and 89 structures were damaged. So it just goes over, people and them talking about what it was like. You always hear those stories, especially folks that lost everything. And there's quite a few people that lost everything, so you got in the US, we're all going through something. You're either going through the heat, you're going through flooding, you're going through, you know, some type of situation. Some people are going through the smoke. It's like we're all getting slammed at once. We had 90-degree days, days up in the 90s. And on top of that, we had the smoke. And it's already saying it is a high number of people with respiratory issues that are now going to hospitals and seeing doctors because of all this Canadian wildfire smoke that's coming down. So we're all taking a beating from this, and I have to tell you, the last time I had to be in the hospital, those meds were from Pfizer that I had to take. So, yeah, this is going to be significant on the American economy. This is big. This is a big deal that something like this happened, because you got years. They already said it's going to be years before they can get their production back to normal. Oh, no. You know what? It must be something about Pfizer where our Heavenly Father took a man, made them a serious target. Who knew taking out one facility would cripple their production to the point where they can't get any meds out, y'all? They can't get no meds out. hmm Pfizer destroyed by a tornado. Yes, yes. hmm Yeah, well, you won't have to worry about taking it anymore. I see some of y'all like, I never took that jab. You don't have to worry about it now because Pfizer sure can't give you any. hmm No, no, the Most High is not playing dark skinned brother. You are right about that. And let me tell you, the things that have happened to America over these last few years, starting with the pandemic, have been very significant. It has been some big deal things happening. And as you can see, since 2019, all the way to now, they have never been able to get their society back to the way it was. They still can't do it. And that should say a lot right there. Everything that has happened has further damaged America as a nation. And this is very damaging. They provided the meds for all US hospitals. Do you know how huge that is? That is ginormous. So now everything they would have gotten from Pfizer, they got to scramble around and get elsewhere. And they got to do this during a time when there's already a medication shortage. There was one before this tornado hit. This is going to be even worse. And to be honest with you, they may never bounce back from this. They sure didn't bounce back from the pandemic. They may never bounce back from this. Yes, yes. Matizo, Marquez, yes, you got the solar eclipse that's going to mark the X across America, the final X. That is so true. And that is scaring them. I have seen them write articles, big articles on the eclipse even back in 2022 and 2021. There were big articles written even then. So they're anticipating something is going to happen. And as you can see, as each year comes, it gets worse and worse. And we're not even talking about the BRICS currency that's about to come out. They're still pushing forward to get that currency out. So these are some serious major black eyes to America. But yeah, if you get a chance, look at some more of the pictures of that facility. It is really bad. That is like beyond repair. Now, anytime a tornado hits a facility, not only ripping the roof off, but ripping out over 50,000 pallets of meds. 50,000 pallets of meds got thrown out by a tornado. I mean, wow. That is just unimaginable that something like that happened, but it did. And they already know, and they're already saying a lot of that meds, have to be sterile. So they can't do anything but destroy all of those meds. They got to destroy that. It's not sterile if it's out on the ground. So it's no longer sterile. You can't give that to somebody to use in a hospital. Yeah. Well, they said, much of the meds have been destroyed, and when they're in pallets, we don't know if they were already in bottles or anything. They may not have been in bottles yet, just in pallets. So, I don't work there and I would not know, but from what they're saying, everything got destroyed. Well, yeah, you'll always have this, Yusef. Yes, you'll always have those that try to say it's a hoax, you or they'll try to say this white man can control the weather, which he's not controlling. He would not do this to his facility. He wouldn't do this to himself. Just like everything we have seen in the past, so you're going to cause a weather phenomena and destroy your own community. And my hearts go out to the Floridians because I'm seeing more and more stories where they don't have any insurance and they're in fear of the next hurricane coming on to the land in Florida and they have no insurance. Many had coverage and they don't have coverage anymore. So, you know, I believe Ron DeSantis brought that judgment on Florida from all the things that he has been doing against the chosen people, wiping out the history. Anytime somebody says something about the history, they get fired automatically. They lose their jobs, and because you don't want the real history told. It's not going to go down like that. He may think it's going to go down like that. It's not. And then you had the immigrants that walked off the jobs down there, which they said many of those jobs are still open to this very second. Nobody has stepped up to fill all those jobs. And I was looking at some of the farmers down there are in fear of losing their crops because they don't have enough people to harvest the crops since the immigrants left. It's a mess down there. It is a mess. He has made a massive mess trying to go after people and get rid of people. It is a mess down in Florida. One man has created all this upheaval down there to the point where it's not just the insurance businesses that are pulling out. There's a lot of businesses leaving Florida because of what Ron DeSantis is doing down there. See, he's not doing well on the campaign trail. He may be popular in Florida, but he's not popular anywhere else. And I don't know if y'all heard what he said. He said he was going to make all of the United States like Florida when he made his announcement that he was running for president. Can you just picture that in your head? He was going to make all of the U.S. exactly like Florida. This dummy think he's doing a great job down there. He is literally destroying that state. He is destroying that state big time. So y'all be careful out there. I know these judgments coming is not for us, not for his children, maybe the ones that are not with him, like the Christians that are still going to church and are people that are out here running around partying every chance they can get. But the children that are always reaching out to him each and every day. Remember, this judgment is not for us, but for the Gentiles. And unfortunately, the Israelites among us that think and act like Gentiles too. So, y'all, that's what I wanted to tell you. I saw this coming in yesterday. I wanted to do it yesterday. And the thing is, I had already set up my other live stream. So I said, well, I'll just do it today. So it's just so many stories coming in. You can hardly keep up with everything. And ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are looking for side hustles, consider doing some writing. I saw finally out on a news break, one of my subscribers down in Florida has signed up and put some articles out, and I'm following him, and I'm just so happy to see that. And I just hope some more of you come out there and get a little side hustle going. So on that note, y'all, please enjoy the rest of your day. And, please enjoy the videos that I have put out today. And I got one on Hunter Biden that I got to publish, which I will do once I'm done with this live stream. So everybody, take care. Shalom.